Today, I'll be doing the achievement Dominion Roundup on the mission, The Gates of Hell. For reference, these are the tech upgrades I have purchased: base, infantry, vehicles, starships, and Dominion. These are the mercenaries that I have hired. And these are the research options I have selected. Alright, the achievement's requirements are to rescue all 10 drop pods in the mission. That is it. Let's put you here. So, this mission, Jimmy, I was talking. Just wait till you're done. Alright, let's try it again. So this mission, you get a very limited amount of space, limited resources, and you have to amass an army. That is objective 1 of the mission, is just get, I think it's 100 supply. Yeah, 100 supply. You can do that by producing things, of course, or in addition to, you can also go rescue these drop pods, which contain Dominion forces. However, they will be watched over by a group of Zerg, as you just saw. Clear the Zerg, get a ground unit to those forces, and then you have rescued the drop pod. Yeah, that's an additional space. We're going to block that off with an engineering bay. Whoa. Alright, yeah, depot and an eBay will block that off. So, that is really it. The focus of the mission is gathering up supply and then moving across the other side of the map. The focus for the achievement, though, is actually just the drop pods. You have to rescue all 10 drop pods. You're like, well, that doesn't sound that hard. Why is that all an achievement? What's so scary about that? Well, aside from the fact that you have to fight the Zerg to get to the drop pod, the later drop pods actually drop in pairs. I think it's the final 4 drop 2 at a time instead of 1 at a time. So that's the struggle at the core of it. You have to either split your army forces or pick one, I suppose, under normal conditions. However, I'm going to show you a simple strategy, a much easier way to go about it. We'll do both ways. For the first pair that drops, I'm going to split my army, show you how it's intended that you're going to go about this. For the final drop pods, though, we'll just cheese it. So stick around. Let's move the tanks up here. In the meantime, though, when there's not active drop pods on the map, you are free to just sit in your base, build up your forces. I don't know, count the Marines you have, count the SCVs, who cares? Do whatever you want. When Matt says a drop pod is coming down in the area, that is your cue. Marines getting shredded. Need to just focus on a little bit of Marine production.
Get this factory back to the landing zone and get it building.
Okay, so got that. Now, credit for the drop pods, I should say. If you don't get some forces to a drop pods group, they will die eventually. The Zerg, after whatever it is, like 30 seconds or a minute after the drop pod comes down. I have 3 engineering bays. Whoops. They will die if you do not actually get to them and save them. Now that said, if you happen to get a ground unit to the forces and claim them, i.e. they come under your control, that's the rescue credit. It doesn't matter if they survive. You see where I'm going with this? The true credit is granted when they come under your control, which is gained when a ground unit is in proximity to the units. So what if I were to just, I don't know, have a ground unit next to the forces? Sounds like it might be pretty convenient, yes? If only there was a way for me to instantly make a ground unit at the location of the drop pod. I'm sure you're starting to piece together the cheese strategy. There's a number of ways you can go about it. Oh, need to lower that. Get the tank set up. Put you over there. So there are a number of ways you can go about it, because there are a number of ways to suddenly have a ground unit. If you have the, oh god, what is it? The Orbital-Strike tech research from the lab, the research lab on the Hyperion. Let me skip the talk about that. It makes it so your barracks units are delivered via drop pod at the rally point. You can use that. You could just rally a barracks unit to them. It's an option. Once the unit lands, you will gain control and get credit for the achievement. You could have a Viking nearby. Have a Viking nearby, have the Viking make its way to those forces, land the Viking, so it counts as a ground unit, and then you're good. Personally, I'm going to go with an even different strategy from both of those. I'm going to go with the MULE strategy.
Secure this star point. Bring it behind our guns.
Alright, got the supply. Skip. And thus outlines the second objective of the mission.
We should mobilize everything we've got and try to break through to Warfield.
Do we though? Do we have to?
My pets will be drawn to his fear and that of his men. There's absolutely nothing you can do.
You're sure talking a lot, Kerrigan. Maybe the fear you smell is your own.
Got him, Jimmy. Good job, Rainer. Well, as I was saying, I'm going to go with the MULE strategy. I have a second orbital command, even though it clearly appears I'm not going to need it. And just when the drop pod shows itself, I'm going to call down a MULE next to the forces, which should, in theory, give me credit and give me the achievement. Now, as I said, we'll be testing that with the final drop pod. The next drop pod is still going to be by itself. And then the next wave will be a pair of drop pods. I'm going to split my army for it. Show you how this is intended to be done before we cheese it. Target fire. Target fire. I am not Clem. Gather everybody up here. 4 drop pods remaining, clearly. Clearly there needs to be a button that says, give me a drop pod now, because I'm ready. Elsewise, I'm just sitting here, guys. As you can see, though, it's not too tough. I'm gonna go ahead and get forces a little spread. I do not remember where the drop pods come down, though. Is it gonna be on different sides of my base? One on the left, one on the right? Will it be top and bottom? Who knows? Let's get you over here. You guys will be group number 2. Multiple drop pods entering the atmosphere. It is go time. They're both on this side. So I'm going to have one group go to the bottom, one to the top. Give them a stem, tell them to go. There were no banelings down there. There are banelings up here though, so I'm going to focus up here. Pull the Marines back to deal with the mutas, apparently. It's actually rather good timing. This group did totally fine. There's Broodlords here. Luckily, Broodlords countered by having any amount of units. Bring the Vikings home. And you guys also rescued. So that was both drop pods rescued. That's how you're intended to do this. You're supposed to split your army. Split your attention. Go deal with 2 groups at the same time. Rescue the drop pods. Now that that's done with, let's do this the easy way. For the final 2 drop pods, just drop mules. Show you guys. Lift up the walls. What are you going to do in all this downtime? I'll probably get just some extra money. I don't even think you have to complete the mission for the achievement. I think you just have to get the drop pods. Oh, phew. Thank gosh. Alright, one up top. Here. Other one. Over here. Alright. Drop a mule. Instantly, they're under my control. Drop a mule. Instantly under my control. An achievement is awarded. I told the mules to repair. Thor's gonna gun down the Ultra. Yeah. The battle cruisers did not survive, but the Marines did. Arguably more valuable. So Dominion Roundup obtained. Actually not that bad of an achievement. It sounds bad when you think about it because you're like, oh gosh, they send down multiple drop pods at the same time. By that time in the mission, you have either built up your forces enough, you can choose to split your army into 2 groups. You saw I went to the south with one group, to the north with the other. Choose which one you want to focus on. I chose to deal with the banelings, so whatever. Or you can choose to cheese it. Have a... I'm not even sure if it's a ground unit now because control was given right away. Is it because the mule is a ground unit? I should have tested it with an air unit first. Either way, get a unit over to those forces. I'd recommend a ground unit, so Viking to land, Barracks rally if you have that research upgrade, or just call down a mule if you have the orbital command. Get all 10 drop pods and the achievement is yours. You do not have to continue, you do not have to complete the mission. I have absolute faith in you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful and that you have a great day.